Ladies and gentlemen, the streets just flipped upside down. Forget everything you thought you knew about Memphis beef, because the so-called truth just got thrown out the window, set on fire, and run over by a bulletproof SUV. New footage has allegedly surfaced linking Key Glock, yes, Dolph's protege, the paper route golden child, to none other than the unthinkable, a plot against Yo Gotti himself. That's right, the same Yo Gotti who's been painted as the ultimate villain in this saga might have just become the target. And the internet? Oh, the internet is eating this up like free Popeyes on Tuesday, but hold up. Was Glock really behind it, or is this just another round of digital smoke and mirrors? Did the quiet cousin finally step out of Dolph's shadow to finish what his family started? Or is somebody trying to frame him for the ultimate street chess move? You see, in Memphis politics, nothing is ever simple. Every post, every accidental leak, every blurry piece of footage is either the smoking gun or the biggest distraction of all time. And trust me, this one is about to send shockwaves through the rap game, the streets, and maybe even your group chat. Alright, so let's break this down before your brain explodes from the headlines. Key Glock, Yo Gotti, leaked footage, murder plots. Sounds like a bad Netflix crime drama, except this one is being narrated by Twitter threads, shady blogs, and of course yours truly. Now here's the setup. Key Glock, the quiet cousin of young Dolph, the guy everybody thought was just gonna rap about money, jewelry, and staying loyal to paper route empire, has suddenly been dragged into the ultimate street conspiracy. Allegedly, supposedly, the streets are saying, you know how it goes, but you can't understand why this is shaking the internet unless you rewind the tape. Let's talk about Yo Gotti, a man whose rap sheet of controversies is basically longer than the Cheesecake Factory menu. This is the guy who's been accused of everything from backdoor deals to shady street politics to, you guessed it, being connected to the never-ending beef with young Dolph. Remember Dolph's murder? People still swear that the fingerprints of CMJ Gotti's crew were all over that play. And who was right there in the middle of it all? None other than Gotti's own brother, Big Juke, whose name still echoes like a ghost whenever people talk about Dolph's death. So now picture this: Big Juke gone, Dolph gone, the city's still bleeding. And suddenly, new footage leaks, online footage that some folks claim shows Key Glock himself moving like a man with a score to settle. The internet detectives immediately start screaming. He's taking revenge. He's sending a message. He's flipping the... And let's be real, this wouldn't even be that shocking if it was true. Because when you think about it, Glock has been carrying Dolph's legacy on his back since 2021. Every interview, every track, every sold-out show he's been living in the shadow of tragedy. The streets whispered, he's too quiet. The blogs wrote, why isn't Glock retaliating? And the fans asked, is he really built for this? Well, if this footage is legit, Glock might have just answered all of those questions in the most Memphis way possible by allegedly putting Yo Gotti in the crosshairs. Savage, right? But here's the twist. For every person swearing the video is real, there's another saying it's nothing but a deepfake trickery designed to frame Glock. That's the age we live in, where you can't even trust your own eyes anymore. So now the stage is set. On one side, you've got Yo Gotti, industry veteran, CMG boss, survivor of. On the other, Key Glock, the paper route soldier who might finally be stepping into the role of Avenger. And stuck right in the middle, the fans, the bloggers, the sources close to the matter, and of course, the Memphis streets that never stop talking. And just when you think it couldn't get messier, wait until you hear what the so-called leaked reports claim Glock did behind the scenes. Now here's where things start spiraling out of control. The so-called leaked footage wasn't just a random clip floating around. Oh no. Alongside it came reports, whispers, and street files, documents stamped with names, dates, and numbers that people claim link Key Glock directly to a plot against Yo Gotti. One alleged report claims that Glock funneled money through third parties, cash drops at local businesses, envelopes passed at strip clubs, and even whispers of offshore transfers. The figure being thrown around, $100,000, clean, flat, enough to make anybody in Memphis take notice. And of course, anonymous insiders popped up instantly. One voice note leaked online allegedly captured a man close to Glock saying, "This wasn't no rap beef no more." Glock made a move that had people shook. He wasn't waiting on justice, he was creating it. Now, whether that audio is real, staged, or straight I nobody knows, but the streets don't care. Once the clip dropped, the narrative wrote itself. The public reaction, explosive. Memphis was divided overnight. Some swore Glock was simply finishing what Dolph started, calling him the last soldier of paper route. Others accused him of crossing a line that could burn the entire city. Hashtags flooded Twitter, hashtag justice for Dolph versus hashtag pray for Gotti. Every side screaming louder than the other, while blogs pumped out exclusive updates by the hour. Even mainstream outlets dipped their toes in. A local Memphis reporter teased on air, "If the allegations are true, this could mark the most shocking twist in the city's rap wars since the murder of young Dolph." No confirmation, no evidence, just enough smoke to make the fire look real. Meanwhile, Yo Gotti's silence spoke volumes. His socials froze, his camp issued no denials. And in this culture, silence isn't neutral, it's fuel. The longer Gotti stayed quiet, the more people assumed Glock's hands were really on the play. Then came the street reactions. Murals of Dolph were updated with Glock's name tagged beside them. At the same time, CMG loyalists painted their own picture, calling Glock a traitor to the city's fragile peace. Tensions weren't just online, they were visible in the neighborhoods. In the music, in the coded messages rappers started slipping into their lyrics. The most chilling part? One unnamed investigator allegedly told a source close to the case, "If this footage is authentic, we're not just looking at a rapper making threats, we're looking at a premeditated conspiracy." And that's when the conversation shifted. From internet gossip to potential federal interest. Because when money, murder, and music mix on this level, the feds don't stay away for long. But hold on, if you think this is just about public opinion, you haven't seen the fallout that's supposedly unfolding behind the scenes. The moment whispers of federal interest started circulating, everything shifted. This wasn't just rap beef anymore. This wasn't just two camps throwing subliminals in songs. According to insiders, the leaked footage and alleged money trail caught the attention of law enforcement agencies bigger than Memphis. PD. Reports claim that the FBI and ATF quietly began monitoring the situation. Why? Because when a nationally known rapper gets tied to talk of murder plots, it's not just local news, it's interstate crime. Federal, serious, and the rumors say Glock's phone records, financial transactions, and even travel history were suddenly under a microscope. At the same time, Yo Gotti's camp allegedly started moving differently. Sources claim security around his shows doubled overnight. His cars began traveling in unmarked convoys. Even his closest affiliates supposedly stopped posting locations online. The silence that once looked suspicious now looks strategic-like. A man bracing for something bigger than rap, but the fallout wasn't just behind closed doors, it was public. Fans who once screamed "Long Live Dolph" started arguing among themselves. Was Glock the Avenger keeping Dolph's legacy alive, or was he dragging the empire into a war Dolph never wanted? Blogs pushed both angles, making Glock look like either a folk hero or a walking indictment. Then came the industry shockwaves. Promoters began reconsidering upcoming shows. One leaked email suggested a major festival was quietly debating whether to pull Glock from their lineup, fearing potential violence or ongoing investigations. On the other side, smaller clubs in Memphis allegedly offered him double to perform, branding him as the face of the streets. Controversy was currency, and Glock, for better or worse, was the most expensive ticket in town. Meanwhile, whispers of indictments grew louder. Online chatter claimed sealed documents were being prepared, hinting that prosecutors might pursue conspiracy charges if the footage held up. Nothing official yet, but the very idea of Glock facing federal heat sent shockwaves through the rap world. And let's not forget the streets themselves. Murmurs of retaliation circled. Some said CMG. Loyalists were plotting a countermove. Others swore Glock's side was already tightening ranks. Every new track released from either camp was dissected like evidence. Every bar treated like a coded message. The bigger question, what happens if this is all smoke? What if the footage is fake, the reports fabricated, the entire scandal nothing more than a digital hit job? If that's the case, then Glock isn't just a suspect, he's a victim of one of the dirtiest setups in modern rap history. A setup designed to frame him, break him, and shatter what's left of Paper Route Empire. Either way, the damage is already done. Reputations are shaken, alliances questioned, and the shadow of Dolph's death looms larger than ever, and now the world is left waiting. Will this end in an arrest, a retaliation, or a revelation that flips the entire story upside down once again? So tell me, what do you believe? Did Key Glock really flip the entire Memphis rap game on its head? Or is this the dirtiest smear campaign of all time? Was Yo Gotti the hunter or the hunted? Drop your thoughts in the comments because this story is far from over, and trust me, the next twist might be even crazier than this one. Don't just watch from the sidelines, hit that like button, smash subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next leak that could change everything.